Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, we live. Let me go ahead and share the live. Okay, copy. Let's go to Facebook. Give me 1 second. Oh, I did the wrong. Hold on. I'm trying to share the live. Notifying viewers that we're live. It ain't updating on here. Alright, there we go. Live. Alright, there we go. Cool. Turn this down. Alright, we got a couple of different topics today. A couple of, like they're not really linked, but a couple of different topics I want to touch on real briefly. I ain't gonna be too long on this show. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of editing to do, from camp. These camp videos, they ain't gonna edit themselves. Alright, so, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get that done. Hold on. Alright, so real-time revelations. Shit's on the Facebook. Real-time revelations. The title is Palestinian calls I show speed. Hashtag it. Hashtag it. What was it? The best slave? Did the greatest slave. Alright, cool. So we got that shared. What a track. No, I always like to run some music. Let's get this done. Now I can switch to my data. Turn this on. Alright, shalom to everybody that's tuning in. Make sure y'all stay tuned for the show. We about to get into it now. I'm just gonna run a quick track. You know what I'm saying? Set the vibe, set the mood. And then we're gonna go into the song. Alright, hold on. What song do I want to play? Let's play this one. Cold shit. I ain't come with goons, but I'm well connected. Walk in the room like you got rejected. Let me see if you qualify or not. Spinning up in the fitted truck, riding around your block. Busy man. I get a wordy and this shit from top to bottom like a motherfucking ceiling fan. Hopping out the rental van, on my way to LAX. Brothers out in Cali and they killers out of every set. But I ain't crippin' on no blood. One West, all my niggas got it out the mud. Put your face on a t-shirt, memory of niggas acting tough in them songs, that's with the drugs. I don't need no cases, all my pistols clean. So now I weigh my options, used to use the triple beam. Used to get the wop mixing with the nicotine. Now I travel, take the state and put on for my team. The fuck wrong with them? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get them. I see niggas and they feelings, I don't feel them. Keep it glocking with me, it was like a ball with it. In the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? snake, fuck the gospel. Front line with them soldiers, that's my posture. Gun drawn, trying to curse an imposter. She get out the pocket, go to war with everybody, yeah. Shit that hate, make it to the featherweight. Niggas get it hard, but they sweeter than a Debbie Cake. Hold on, I think it's time to introduce. I'm a man and a beast and a step and a rover. Hold on, and a G and a soldier and a mover. Hold on, and a killer and a prophet and a shooter, nigga. Trying to stay humble, my shit crazy. Cold leader, need the blue stripes, no regret. Can't be serious, you a funny boy, young fly. Look wrong, must be a dummy, I ain't good shot. Fuck that little bitch, you a hook. Nigga swear he the go, bring him to the bush. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Kid the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with him. We at the end, gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? What's the problem? I wanna demon and I'm locked in this shit and I ain't leaving. Ski mask just from the war mode like I'm Voltron. Stand on my head and my chest from the most high. Put something tight around your neck like a bow tie. Got my niggas waiting charged up like they phone died. Red letter, drip clean, he look so fly. Let me ride, that's why I left his ass roadside. He gon' die, skyscraper to a nosedive. 9 millimeter plus P, fuck a 4-5. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Hold on. I see niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Keep it glocking with me, it was like a ball with me. Be at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? Come on, West, go to war with everybody.
Alright, most sign Christ, most sign Christ. Okay, real time revelation once again. You know what I'm saying? Again, every Sunday, 2 p.m. to about 3:30. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what we got. Alright, so, you know, we got a few topics I want to touch on today, a few various ones. Everybody that's watching, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all is doing well. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all type in the comments as we going over the topics. Let me know your thoughts on, you know, what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? And let's get it. I see somebody, Jane Holmes. All right, Shalom. So good afternoon from East Yorkshire. All right, Shalom. Good afternoon. No sweat. All right. And what else we got? You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all liking the video. You know what I'm saying? Dropping a comment, sharing the video. We're going to get into a few topics today. So I'm gonna get into my first one. My first one is kind of a follow on from last week. So last week's show we touched on, there was a few topics. We touched on the Somalians being racist towards black people, of course. You know what I'm saying? That Islam is not for black people. I'm gonna tell you that straight up and down. All right, Islam is not for black people. Okay. Someone says, am I looking at a real Hebrew Israelite? You are indeed looking at a real Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're looking at right now. You know what I'm saying? We the I.S.U.P.K. start out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And we teach our brothers and sisters, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, that we are the true descendants of the biblical Hebrew Israelites. You know what I'm saying? All right. So last week we went over the topic. There was some white man. So we was at the camp, and there was some European, some oppressor that said, while we were talking about, you know, how the oppressor has done nothing to repair the damage that he has done to black people from slavery, this oppressor had the gall, had the audacity, or should I say the caucasity, to say that black people should pay them reparations because they so say freed us from slavery. I mean, I'm gonna get you the video right now just to share it one more time, because I'm gonna talk about it. I'm going to talk about some of the comments on that video as well. You know what I'm saying? Let me get this real quick.
Now, let me tell you something. For how much? Wait, hold on. Hold on. I want to say that again.
You want reparations from the blacks.
You put us in slavery. So now the white man did put us in slavery. So this man is saying that we should thank him for so-called freeing black people. So, black people, you can never be free without knowing your history, man.
So imagine the oppressor enslaved you, you know what I'm saying, took you as a possession, as cattle, was abusing your women, abusing your children, you know, unaliving babies, unaliving women, assaulting them, things that are worse than unaliving. Those things happened to us in slavery. We worked as indentured slaves for over 400 years and made their empire rich. And then when they turn around and say, okay, we're going to make slavery illegal, now he wants, not only does he want a thank you, after all the unaliving and all the assault, you know, all the sexual assault that was done to our people, all the slavery, the backbreaking work, the generational trauma that we suffer from to this day, not only, you know, should we just forget about all that, not only should we just forget about everything he did to us, but we should thank him for ending slavery. We should thank him for ending, you know, all the, you know, the vile things that he did to us. And really, even that, it didn't end racism. It didn't end black people being unalive, because still to this day, you have black people being killed wrongfully, unalived wrongfully, I should say. Calm down. Unalived wrongfully by the hands of police. And he wants not only a thank you, but he says that we should pay him, we should pay Europeans, we should pay British people reparations for ending slavery. I mean, good night. As Jane Holmes says, the black pregnant women, they unalived haunts her. Like you unaliving people in some of the most vilest ways, and then you turn around and say, okay, you know, let's take them out the chains. Let's take them out the chains. And not only do you want a thanks, you want us to pay you reparations for that. And then I see some of the comments, you know, talking about here. It says, hold on. It says, I see someone says, no, we didn't. Your own kind did. Meaning apparently it wasn't oppressors that put us in slavery. Our own kind did. And it says, hold on. Let me get some more. Let me get some more of this. It says, no, your African masters sold you into slavery, so trace your heritage to a part of Africa and claim your reparations there. I mean, good night. It says, and the British ended slavery, and it wasn't paid off till 2015. Well, there. I mean, good night. It says, and the British ended slavery, and it wasn't paid off till 2015. Well, it was the black people who sold slaves to the whites. Then the British freed the slaves. Right. Okay. So I see a lot of this where they're saying, well, Africans sold black people, or it was black people that sold black people, and British people freed the slaves. I think y'all, and they saying, this person that said that it was black people who sold slaves to the whites, then the British freed the slaves. Know your history. I mean, good night. Good night. So apparently I don't know my history. Okay. Even if that is true, even if, you know, it was the same people, which it wasn't. It was so-called Africans who sold the children of Israel to the oppressor into slavery. It wasn't just black people selling black people. Even in Africa, you have all type of tribes and different countries in Africa. And it was white people that freed the slaves. Well, y'all bought the slaves first. Y'all bought the slaves, had them in slavery, made them work, built an empire, made Britain great. You tell you, off the backs of slaves, you made Britain into Great Britain, and you had a wealthy empire off the backs of black slaves. And all the unaliving that you did, all the, you know, I think they skipping over a large part of history. All the unaliving they did, the genocide, as the Jane says, the pregnant women they unalived, the babies they ripped out of our women's stomachs. All that apparently, you know, they missing that whole chunk of history, and they just go from black people sold black people to white people freed the slaves. I think this man, what's his name? Chris Anderson. I think Chris Anderson needs to know his history. And even if it was, literally, even if it was black people sold black people, does that absolve you? Does that mean that all the wicked things you did doesn't matter? Does that mean that you shouldn't pay reparations? You know, we should get reparations from the Africans. Listen, let me tell you something. Africans should pay reparations too. Because what Africans have done nothing to repair the damage that they put the children of Africans should pay reparations too. Because what Africans have done nothing to repair the damage that they put the children of could, you know, be apart from our oppressor. That we could be apart from our slave master to heal the damage that was done to us. But we should pay them reparations. I mean, good night. Good night. So because they took us out of the chain, we should thank him and pay them reparations. First of all, with what money are black people going to pay the white man reparations? We don't have the wealth from slavery. You had it. And another person in the comments said, you know, hold on. Let me get the comment just so I don't misquote it.
Without knowing your history, man.
Hold on. I want to quote this BS. It says the last payment. No, hold on. It was another one, right? What are you talking about? It says the British ended slavery and it wasn't paid off till 2015. And it wasn't paid off till 2015. But the fatigue can't understand. Okay. And it wasn't paid off till 2015. But the fatigue can't understand. Okay. You know, the British ended slavery and it wasn't paid off till 2015. Out of the goodness of their heart till 2015 for loss of property. And it bankrupted England. And they love to say that like they you know, bankrupted England to free the slaves. No, you bankrupted England or Britain to you know, or took a loan that didn't get paid off until the 21st century, until what, 10 years ago? 10 years ago is when you finally pay, you know, managed to pay back the slave owners, meaning slave owners were still getting paid. You finally pay, you know, managed to pay back the slave owners, meaning slave owners were still getting paid till just 10 years ago. Is that not what that means? But y'all want us to pay you more for freeing the slaves. Y'all have been paid enough. The oppressor has been paid enough. They've been paid off. They just paid it off in 2015. But, I mean, this devil wants more. The devil wants more and more and more. It seems to the oppressor is the one that has been paid and wants more. That's what it seems to me is the case. I mean, good night. And the fact they're saying, you know, British ended slavery, wasn't paid back until 2015. Okay, that and that was paid using what? Using tax money. Meaning if you're a black man working in the UK, you know what I'm saying, working in England, you're paying tax to the UK government. And the UK government is taking your tax money to pay your slave master. That's what that means. That's what that means. But you want to thank you for ending slavery. I guess we also pay the part means, but you want to thank you for ending slavery. I guess we also pay the part in funding the end of slavery from our tax money. We come over here and we work hard, man. We work 2, 3 different jobs. The oppressors, I mean, good night. I think y'all need to know your history. Let me get off that topic. There's another topic, you know, a couple videos I want to touch on. Let me get my first video. Well, I guess my second video now. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this video right quick. And hold on. Let me get. I got 3 videos. And hold on. Let me get. I got 3 videos.
So proud. Oh, you.
This is, you know, y'all want thanks and paid reparations for freeing the slave. Matter of fact, that's what it was. I wanted to get a scripture real quick. Let me get a scripture real quick. So they want to thank you for, you know, taking us out of the chains. But this is what the Bible says. Hold on. What's the a yoke of iron? Until here we go. This is in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48, which outlined the curses that the children of Israel would suffer if we disobeyed the Most High. Right? Deuteronomy 28 and verse 48. Therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemies which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. Meaning if we wanted, when we're a slave, or even to this day, if we want food, we have to go to the oppressor. We don't have, we was never given back any land to farm for ourselves. We was never, given any wealth so we could set up businesses so we could feed ourselves. If we want to eat, we have to go to the oppressor's stores. We have to get food from the mountain. Thirst. If we want water, you have to pay water that falls from the sky. You have to pay an oppressor to get the water to drink. And in nakedness, if you want clothes, you have to go to an oppressor or some other nation, to get the clothes on your back. I mean, good night. For our brothers in America, imagine you made America rich from picking cotton. And now in order to get a shirt, to get a cotton shirt, you have to pay the oppressor again. I mean, you already did the free labor. You receive nothing after that. And they so say freed the slaves in America, which again to this day you still have black people being lynched. You still have the KKK running rampant, and now that I'm in America, which again to this day you still have black people being lynched. You still have the KKK running rampant, and now the damn ICE agents, which is no different than KKK, just grabbing up blacks in the but y'all freed your freedom. You shall set end against thee in hunger and thirst and in nakedness and in want of freedom. You shall set end against thee in hunger and thirst and in nakedness and in want of their identity as a slave. All they know is, the Caribbean island. All they know is themselves as so-called African or American. All they know themselves as is Puerto Rican, meaning rich port, because they got rich off the slave trade. I mean, good night. They took the yoke of iron off, yes, but only after they destroyed us. Only after they whipped our identity out of our back so that we don't know who we are anymore. So that we don't know that we are God's chosen people. So that we don't know that we have laws that we are required to keep, or these curses will continue happening to us. They freed the slaves, but they're so-called freed the slaves, but there is only one way to free the slaves. And that is for black people, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to wake up, to know who they are and serve their God. If you aren't serving the Most High God, then you are not free. You are absolutely not free. If you are celebrating Christmas and birthdays and Valentine's Day and all these things that were given to you by your slave master to keep you destroyed, to keep you from turning to your God, then you are absolutely not free. It is a lie that they freed the slaves. They just took them out of chains. That's all. And most of them are getting put back in chains by police officers. Many black people have been wrongfully arrested or wrongfully unalived by the police. Y'all freed us from the chains for but a second. And you go right back in chains, right back into slavery, which once you get arrested and you're in prison, you're legally a slave. You went right back into slavery. Good night. And then I wanted to share this quick video. I'm about to put this on the UK page, and this is the good old British people that want us to thank them, that want us to be grateful for them taking us out of chains. This is those same people that when we're saying y'all need to do something to repair black people because we're still oppressed to this day, and then these are the people that would make those comments, and that we're saying y'all need to do something to repair black people because we're still oppressed to this day, and then these are the people that would make those comments, and that we need to know our history. They freed the slaves. This is the type of people we're talking about. Check this out.
God, you must be so proud. Oh, you're working on a door.
Right, go on, Jill, let's go.
Yeah, you
Right,
black
thanks, lads.
man.
Thanks, lads.
Black.
That video is
That's
good.
why you get a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, black.
So apparently some brother offended this oppressor. This woman that her people so say freed the slaves, right? some black man offended this woman, and she's talking about that's why you work on a door. Meaning what? That's why we have what I'm saying what they class as low class jobs or blue collar jobs. That's why we don't have the good jobs in society. We have to work a door, work security. We have to work minimum wage and these type of things. She's laughing at us because we don't get good high paying jobs like the oppressor does. Because still to this day there is discrimination and racism in the hiring process. Black people are the last hired and the first to be fired. But we're free, but racism is doesn't exist no more. We should thank them. Let's watch this video again.
God, you must be so proud. Oh, you're working on a door.
Right, go on, Jill, let's go.
Yeah, you
Right,
black
thanks, lads.
man.
Thanks, lads.
I mean, good night. Good, you might as well have said it, Sue. You might as well have said it. There was so much venom in the way she said black. Let's listen to this again. What did she say this man was?
Yeah, you
Right,
black
thanks, lads.
man.
Good night.
Thanks, lads.
Black.
Good night. And she said it again.
Thanks, lads.
Black.
That video is
That's
good.
why you get a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, black.
And that's why you get a name. Yeah, black. I mean, good night. You might as well have said it. Just go ahead and say what it is you want to say. You don't want to say black. You want to say the other word that means black. That's what it is. You want to say the other word that begins with an N that means black. In a derogatory way, because that's how you said that black. So much venom in that. I mean, good night. I ain't never seen that was a, instead of a hard R, that was a hard K. That was a hard CK. Let's listen to it one more time, man. Salaki, y'all gotta hear this.
You
Right,
black
thanks, lads.
man.
Thanks, lads.
Black.
That video is
That's
good.
why you get a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, black.
A hard CK. I mean, good night. But we should thank these people. These are the people that we should be thanking and be grateful. We should be grateful for this. Yeah, not me. Not me. Being out of chains is not a is not something that we should be thankful for. That's like you sexually assault a woman and chain her up in your basement, and then one day you decide to all right, you can come up from the basement, and she's supposed to thank you. No, she's not supposed to be in the basement in the first place. She's not supposed to be subjected to assault like that. But you want her to thank you. No, you ain't getting no thanks from black people. Not from the I.S.U.P.K. Not at all. Let me get into my second video. Hold on. Let's get this video. This video interests me. Before we get into the main topic, I'm going to cover that one last. Look at this video real quick. Alright, so this is a video from a sister right here. She says, black parents, hold on, said they will not leave their children an inheritance if they marry interracially, and folks crashed out in the comments. Alright, so let's get this video.
So y'all see how everybody mad at that black couple that said that they will not be leaving, that they told their kids that they will not be leaving an inheritance to them if they married outside their race? So was talking about some damn, oh, I can't believe we're doing this in 2025. Oh, I can't believe this and that. First of all, the parents built the wealth. It's their money. They can determine what they want to do with their money. Okay? Plenty of stipulations are put on inheritances. Okay? Like, my ex-husband could not get his inheritance if he didn't marry at all. Okay? Like if he had a child out of wedlock, and if he didn't go to college. Like if he didn't go to college and complete his degree, he could not get his inheritance.
Right.
Those were stipulations that were put on his inheritance by his daddy that was leaving it to him. Okay? So anywho, he received a partial inheritance, but he never went to college, so he never received that money.
Right, so he never got a college.
And in my opinion, right? I'm not going
But okay, so there's this black couple that is saying that, you know, their children are not going to get the inheritance of the wealth that they created as black people. The wealth that they created, as hard as it was to get that as a black man and woman, you know what I'm saying, in this oppressor's kingdom. If their children marry interracially, you're not going to get that inheritance. And why did they set that stipulation? You can answer that in the comments. Why did they set that stipulation? The wealth that they created, you know what I'm saying, as hard as it was, you're not going to get that inheritance if you marry another nation. You can answer me why they did that. I'll play on in the video while we get some people, you know, but make sure y'all put in the answers.
Judge nothing that those parents decided, because at the end of the day, you know how difficult it is for the black community to achieve wealth and obtain wealth. And do you know how many times wealth from the black community has been obstructed or removed by various communities? And it reminds me of this story that I want to point out too about this very famous athlete, right? Who was in
like this is Kyle said, right? To keep black wealth in a black family. To keep money in the black community, because so many times black people that get wealth, like your athletes and the rappers and this, that, and the third, people that have, you know, money, do what? They go and marry some heathen, marry some other nation, and then when they, you know, pass away, or when they get arrested and the money gets seized, or when they get divorced by this heathen who's just with them for their money. There's two things they were the black man for, you know, for rod and for money. That's about it. For the charisma that we have, and just the aura that black people have, and for their money. And there's so many times black wealth has gone back out, just right back out of the black community because of those things. I'll tell you something, those parents that set that stipulation because of those things. I'll tell you something, those parents that set that stipulation our lives. Alright? It says right here, boom, I'm gonna read Proverbs 5 and verse 2. That thou mayest regard, no, verse 3. For the lips of a strange woman drop as in honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. You know what I'm saying? That strange woman is just like these parents are warning against. If you marry interracially, if you marry another nation, that other nation's woman is a strange woman. They don't keep the same customs that you keep. They don't look the same as how you look. You know what I'm saying? They don't act the same as you look. They are a strange nation. Those women are a strange woman to you. You know, we don't let dogs lick all up in our mouths. You know what I'm saying? We don't think that you know, rats are holy like them Indians do. We don't eat, you know, cat and dog like you know, the Asians do. You know what I'm saying? They are strange people. It says, for the lips of a strange woman drop as in honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. Meaning they're gonna say all these nice things to you. As a black man, they're gonna, you know, they're gonna raise you up. Because why? What do they want? And those two things. They want Salaki. They know the reputation of black men. And they want the money. So don't give, they're going to say whatever they need to say. A mouth is smoother than oil. and say whatever they need to say to get those two things from you. Alright, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. The end of that woman is bitter. You're going to lose all your money. You're going to lose your children. You're going to lose, you know what I'm saying, whatever respect and dignity you had. You might lose your freedom if this woman says that you did something to her. And she is a woman that you know, the whole world has a compassion on. And whatever she says is what happened, and you're going to prison. You cannot lay a finger on this woman's hair, but if she said you did, you're going to prison. You're going to lose your money. You're going to lose your children, and you're going to lose your freedom. Her end is bitter as wormwood and sharp as a two-edged sword. When she decides to cut you and cause harm to you, good night. You will be finished. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell. Like the way she can bring you down, the condition you could be one of the richest men on the earth. Maybe living good, living wealthy, and this woman lays a hold on you and brings you down to hell. Brings you down to the point where you wished you had never, you know, been born. Verse 6, lest thou should ponder the path of life, her ways are movable that thou canst not know them. Meaning you were wondering how the hell you got here with this heathen woman. What in the hell was you doing with this heathen woman, and now you in the condition you're in? And her ways are movable that thou canst not know them. Like she'll be, you know, happy with you one day and calling you, you know, dark chocolate and all this BS they want to say to you to, you know, to smooth you up, to get you nice and ready. And then the next day when you get on their nerves, they're calling you a N-word. Or they calling you black with the hard CK. Her ways are movable. Let me get, what's the next verse? Remove thy, hold on. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the word of my mouth. So this is damn near the same thing that the parents are trying to say to these children. Well, you ain't getting this inheritance if you marry interracially. They might have read the book of Proverbs, and they understand it. They have some wisdom about themselves. All right, it says, remove thy way far from her. And that's what these parents are trying to do. Don't go near these other nations or you ain't getting this inheritance. A little bit of incentive. Don't partake in Martin Luther King's filthy, you know, dream. That dream is a damn nightmare. It's a nightmare, and you will understand the end of that dream. It starts off good, but it ends as a nightmare. No, it doesn't even start off good. It starts off all right, but it ends as the worst nightmare you've ever lived. And you can't wake up from this one. There ain't no waking up. This is real life. All right, then let me get remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh to the door of her house, lest thou give thine honor unto others, thy years unto the cruel, lest strangers be filled with thy wealth. What these parents is trying to instill in their children is absolutely biblical. You're not getting this inheritance if you marry interracially. You're not getting this inheritance if you marry a European woman or a Chinese woman or Japanese or whatever. Marry another black woman. That's it. Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger. That's what these parents don't want. They don't want their labors, the things that they worked hard for. You know how hard it is to make some wealth in this kingdom, in this society? They don't want their labors to be in the house of a stranger. Let's play on this video.
White woman. And when the white woman found out that all of his money and assets were in his mother's name and not in his name, she partial inheritance, but he never went to college, so he never received that money. And in my opinion, I'm not going to judge nothing that those parents decided, because at the end of the day, you know how difficult it is for the black community to achieve wealth and obtain wealth. And do you know how many times wealth from the black community has been obstructed or removed by various communities.
Right.
And it reminds me of this story that I want to point out too about this very white woman. And when the white woman found out that all of his money and assets were in his mother's name and not in his name, she cut off the engagement. Okay? I don't know if he was from Africa or wherever the hell his ass was from, but she cut off that engagement so fucking fast, and that shit popped off about a couple months ago. So there are times, right, where people from...
Because that woman doesn't want you for you. She doesn't love you for you. She wants rod and she wants money. When she found out that that second one was not in his name, and if she was to divorce him or if he was to be unalived by some mysterious reason, she wouldn't get that money, she called off the engagement and left him. Someone says, I don't know about that. What don't you know about? Let me know. Let me know what you don't know, and I'll be glad to educate you. All right.
Communities are not marrying black people with good intentions. Okay? And some of y'all was running around in the comments and y'all was saying, oh, but what about marrying for love? It would be marrying for love. They never said that the person, that their child could not marry an interracial person. And marry interracially or marry a non-black person. They never said that. Okay? So it's like your child can marry a non-black person.
You ain't getting an inheritance. You want to say love is love, but you don't have wisdom. You don't have wisdom. Wisdom is found in the Bible. The Bible just says, don't go nigh unto her door and remove yourself far from her, because her end is bitter as wormwood. That's what the Bible says. You can marry for love, and you can do all this. You can be in an interracial marriage, sure. The same way you can be an LGBTQ member. The same way you could turn around and be a drug dealer. You could do it. But the end is rough. The end of that decision, you're going to regret it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're going to regret it. Those parents are trying to save their life. Those are good. We should be applauding those parents. You're talking about, she don't want to judge the parents and judge their decision. Absolutely no. We should be applauding those parents. We should have more parents like them. And that leads me into my final video. Look at this last video here. So this is a famous black streamer named I.S.U.P.K. And he's, over there. I don't know if he's in Palestine or whatever, but he's talking to some Palestinian. And we're gonna watch a video about what they say about him. All right.
The man who freed Palestine. My man. هذا سبيد أكبر عبيد والله أكبر عبيد كمان أنا غادي بوس أمك.
And she says Speed is Akbar Abid. Akbar Abid. Let me get what that means. All right, Akbar Abid. Let's get good old Google Translate on this thing right here. Akbar Abid meaning. Let me see. Let me get Google Translate right here. Hold on. How do I do this on the phone? Search tools. Let me just search Google Translate, right? Google Translate. You can look it up yourself. The word Abid is a word which means servant or slave, right? So let's get Akbar Abid. It says, hold on. Man, translate this stuff. It's giving me back the same thing. I know, sweat. Akbar is a word. Let me look up separately Akbar. Right? Akbar meaning. Right? Akbar is Arabic, right? The word Akbar is Arabic, derived from a root meaning greatness and translated to greater or greatest, right? So like when they run around saying Allahu Akbar, it means God is greater. But this Palestinian man, called him Akbar Abid. So what does Abid mean? He is greatest or greater what? The word Abid. Abid right here or Abid is an Arabic word meaning servant or slave. This man just called it says the term is usually used in the Arab world. This man just called, it says the term is usually used in the Arab world. It dates back to the Arab slave trade, right? You can read about the Arab slave trades. A lot of people don't know. They know about the transatlantic slave trade, but even before that, you had the Arab slave trade, right? And just in case y'all think I added that because it didn't show it on the thing, right? I went on the Wikipedia, right? It dates back to the Arab slave trade. In recent decades, the usage of the word has become controversial due to its racist connotations and origins, particularly among the Arab diaspora. So that's basically like calling them the N-word. It's calling him a slave, a servant. And why is this Palestinian calling Speed a slave or a servant? He calls him Akbar Abid. Yes, Speed right here, you know, he hyping up Palestine. Yeah, he's a good slave. That's what this man just said. He's a good servant. But black people wanna go around, you know, fighting for Palestine, fighting for the freedom of Palestinians. A Palestinian just called you a slave. We should not be fighting for Palestine. We should not be fighting for either of those. You have the so-called Jewish man, which is a man who funded slavery, who stole your identity, and is fighting over your land. And you have another man, which you know, the Palestinians, I don't know if they're Arabs or whatever, but they clearly have some ties to the Arab slave trade and is calling you a slave. And they're fighting over your land. You shouldn't be supporting either. Let me play on in this video.
The man who freed Palestine. My man.
هذا سبيد أكبر عبيد والله أكبر عبيد كمان أنا قاعد يبوس أمك ما شاء الله.
There is a
Good
neighborhood.
night. My question is, why didn't that other guy who's clearly the translator, because Speed don't know Arabic, why did that man not translate what the hell he just said? Hold on. He just called you a slave. He just called you the greatest slave. Yeah, good night. And then this you know, woman has something to say.
Gaza, on the Gaza Strip, where 11,000 Afro-Palestinians live. It is called Al-Abib. You know what that means? Slave. Yes. That is where black people, and that is what the Arabics call that neighborhood. Slaves. The land of the
Palestinians. In Palestine, you have what's known as Afro-Palestinians, which is your black Palestinians, those who have, you know, black features. Now, I don't know if this is Israelites or this is Africans. I think it's likely these are Africans, but regardless, you have, you know what I'm saying, dark-skinned people in Palestine, and they have them in a neighborhood called Al-Abid, which means slave in Arabic. Right? Matter of fact, let me get the article. So she pulled up an article in her video, right? Let me get that article on this phone. Hold on, I hide it on the other phone. Give me 1 second. Bada bing, bada boom. Let me look up black. Oh, you have it? Okay, cool. Yeah, it says black Palestinians face subtle racism in Gaza, right? And you have black Palestinians constitute a minority of 1% of the total population of the 2 million inhabitants living in the Gaza Strip. All right, while it's difficult to accurately pin their exact origins, many say they come from Ghana, Sudan, and Egypt. At least that's what's been passed down from their oral history. Okay, it says many first came to Palestine during the Islamic conquests as slaves to serve their owners in the 7th century. So you would have some Israelites up in there. You know what I'm saying? Some of those that were enslaved in the Arabic slave trade. All right. It's also reported that another wave of Africans emigrated to Palestine in the late 19th century. So that would be more your actual Africans. They migrated over. The same way you have, you know what I'm saying, black people that were brought into, you know, America on slave ships, and then you had Africans that migrated over. right? Then you have, it said, despite their deep roots in Palestine, many still encounter racism and discrimination. And then it says, hold on here, let's skip to the part. It says at least 11,000 black Palestinians live in Al-Jalaz district of Gaza in a neighborhood called Al-Abid, which means slaves in Arabic. So Palestinians are calling black people slaves. He just called I.S.U.P.K the greatest slave because he's over there, you know, supporting Palestine. You supporting other people and they're saying, yeah, that's a good slave. I mean, good night. Good night. You should not support Palestine. As a black man, you should not support Palestine. You have enough problems of your own as a black man yourself. You have enough to worry about. We should be supporting the black community. Palestine can fight for Palestinians. You see them, you know, protesting and rioting all up and down England. They don't need help. You know who needs the help of black people? Other black people. That's who needs their help. That's who you need to, you know, fight for. That's who you need to support. That's who you need to stop dealing drugs for. That's who you need to change your life and become perfect with the Most High for other black people, for your mother, for your father, for your children. You need to change your life so that the black community can be better. Every other community, they have people that fight for them. Nobody fights for us. Nobody protests for us. The greatest slave. With that is my show. I'm gonna go ahead and get out this car, get up out this rain, and get inside. Alright, I hope to see y'all next Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Next Sunday, 2 p.m. Make sure y'all tune in, like the video, share the live. You know what I'm saying? And I'll see y'all again next Sunday. Alright, with that, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Barakatham to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema Allah Than Bashim Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. Alright, Shalom.